His method is brutal. His weapon is the beat. And his latest tracks are about to blow your mind. If he likes the way you move, he decides the way you dance.
10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
Ferry Corsten. This is Corsten's Countdown.
Yo, welcome to Corsten's Countdown 369 with me, Ferry Corsten. Thanks for tuning in. Corsten's Countdown is a chart show where you are in control of the music. And right after this show, you can vote for your favorite track of this episode via corstenscountdown.com. Your vote is very important and you will help to decide which 3 tracks I'm going to play again next week in the Corsten's Countdown Top 3. So keep in mind, your vote does count.
Last week's Corsten's Countdown Top 3.
Hey, before we start with the show, I will give you a quick overview first of last week's Corsten's Countdown Top 3.
3.
At number 3 last week, the Jacob van Hage remix of Derb by Derb.
2.
Last week's number 2 was Neptune's Legacy, a collaboration between Darren Porter and Fairy Tale.
1.
And we had a Corsten's Countdown hat-trick last week for the 3rd week in a row at number 1, my new single Festival Crash. Do we find Festival Crash at number 1 again, or do we find another track at the number 1 spot this week? Stay tuned, because at the end of this episode, I'm going to tell you which tracks made it into the Corsten's Countdown Top 3 of this week. As always, I've selected lots of great new tracks for this week's show. In the next hour, you can listen to new music from Dimension. I have a collab between Cosmic Gate and Jerome Isma-ae for you. And later in the show, you'll hear a brand new track from Above and Beyond. For this week's Listener's Choice, we go back to the summer of 2011. In that year, a well-known Hungarian duo made a very nice remix of a beautiful track from a US-based act. Do you have any idea which track I'm talking about here? Well, make sure to stay tuned, because in about 30 minutes, I'm going to play this week's Listener's Choice for you guys. If you use Twitter, then don't forget to follow and use the hashtag Corsten's Countdown during the show, so you can stay up to date about everything regarding Corsten's Countdown. Hey guys, it's time for the music. We kick off the show with In My Hands, and that is a new track from Lush and Simon, featuring Delaney Jane on vocals.
Always on the beat. There's no stopping him. Let the music carry you. Bring that beat back. Corsten's Countdown.
I can almost see forever reflections in your eyes. You said, babe, you're such a disaster. With a smile you try to hide. 7 days a week I'm dreaming, but I can't sleep now that I've got you in my reach. If I could feel you, if I could just feel your heart, it's nothing like I ever knew. All I need is your face in my hands. All I need is your face in my hands. I thought time it was a burden before you came along. Now I open up the curtain and the darkness is gone. 7 days a week I'm dreaming, but I can't sleep now that I've got you in my reach. If I could feel you, if I could just feel your heart, it's nothing like I ever knew. All I need is your face and my hand. Feel you, if I could just feel your heart, it's nothing like I ever knew. All I need is your face and my hands. All I need is your face in my hands. Yeah, yeah. Yeah, yeah. That's all I really need is your face in my hands. All I need is your face in my hands.
This is what you've been waiting for. It will take more than just the skills. He knows the score. He brings you the latest and the best. Corsten's Countdown.
This was Totem, an upcoming release on Size from Tom Staar and Ansolo. Up next, the new Above and Beyond track, Blue Sky Action. And on this one, they work together again with Alex Vargas. And Blue Sky Action will be out soon via Anjunabeats.
Hi, I'm Jono from Above and Beyond, and you're listening to our new track on CORSTEN'S Countdown.
Tired of life. What a world I'm living in. Now I've got it all. I've had enough, I'm giving in. The sun is shining, melting the clouds away. Got me some blue sky action. I'm breathing today. I know I'm burning. This is my final day. I'm gonna go out smiling, a king for a day. A king for a day. In this toxic town, it really takes my breath away. It's either leave or drown. I'm on a blue sky getaway. The sun is shining, melting the clouds away. Got me some blue sky action, a king for a day. A king for a day. The sun is shining, melting the clouds away. Got me some blue sky action. I'm breathing today.
who operates above the law. Above the law. Above the law.
Just heard Telefunken, and that's a collaboration between the boys of Cosmic Gate and Jerome Isma-ae. Next one up, Deorum, and that is an upcoming release from Spanish DJ producer Dimension. And this one will be out soon via Flashover Trance.
Corsten's Countdown. Exclusive. Corsten's Countdown.
Shit.
Hey, this is KhoMha, and you are listening to my new track here in CORSTEN'S Countdown.
Ferry Corsten.
Please don't forget to vote for your favorite track of this show via CORSTEN'SCountdown.com. Your vote is very important and you can help to decide which tracks will make it into the weekly CORSTEN'S Countdown Top 3. You just heard a new track from KhoMha. This was Elektrikute. You are listening to CORSTEN'S Countdown 369 with me, Ferry Corsten. This Friday, Marcus Schultz and myself will play together as New World Punks at Global Gathering in the UK. And on Saturday, it's going to be a crazy but fun day again in Belgium, because then you can see me at Tomorrowland at my very own full-on stage. Hope to see you all there, guys. Hey, please make sure to check out ferrycorsten.com for more info about me, all my tour dates and everything regarding CORSTEN'S Countdown. And of course, very important, the free weekly CORSTEN'S Countdown podcast. Hey, it's time for this week's Listener's Choice. And this week I picked a track that got released exactly 3 years ago. In 2011, the beautiful track Promises from Andain came out together with a great remix from Hungarian duo Myon and Shane 54. And that one got requested via Facebook by Anjunabeats from Colorado Springs in the USA. Here it is, this week's Listener's Choice, the Myon and Shane 54 Summer of Love mix of Promises by Andain.
Corsten's Countdown. Listener's choice. This is Corsten's Countdown. Corsten's Countdown. Top 3.
Alright, it's time to announce the results of last week's voting. This is the Corsten's Countdown Top 3. At number 3 this week, same as last week, Derb by Derb in the Jacob van Hage remix.
3. Corsten's Countdown. Down. Corsten's Countdown, your #1 dance show.
This was the #2 of this week, The Beautiful Love for You by Justin Strikes.
It's time to vote right now.
Alright guys, the voting for this week's show is open now. You can now vote for your favorite track of this episode via CORSTEN'SCountdown.com. And of course you can also vote via the Ferry Corsten app, which you can download for free via ferrycorsten.com/app. It's almost time to announce the #1 of this week, but first things first. As you might have heard, on Sunday, July the 13th, my wife gave birth to our beautiful son, Seb. We really got so many messages on Facebook and Twitter and emails and postcards and sweet presents, etc. And we really want to thank you all for the many lovely messages we got. Much appreciated. It's time to announce the #1 of this week, and there we find it for the 4th week in a row, my new track Festival Crash, and that one got released earlier this week on Flashover Recordings. Thank you all again for the support, guys. And thank you also for tuning in. Please don't forget to vote, and until next week, later.
1. This is Corsten's Countdown.